the worst part of an event is being the last speaker. But I just hope I'll try to make it a little interesting. I'm into the teaching profession since last 30 years. So, and my research area is brain mapping. So, somehow when you relate the two, I enter the class and teach for 10 minutes, and then I have their foreheads as screen, and I know whether they've understood or not. I don't have to ask them a question. So, I'm not saying you're my students, but I can still modulate my voice to make sure that the people in the last bench don't talk to each other and listen to only me. Okay, I am Dr. H.N. Suma, Dean Innovation, BMS College of Engineering. I come from a college which is 76-year-old. This college was started as the first private engineering college in the country 1 year before independence. And it so happens that the college was started on 14th August 1946. So we're actually 1 year, 1 day before independence. So that's my college. And the best part of BMSE is all the students, we get the cream of the students, and so they get the best of placements. Totally around 160 to 180 industries walk in and out of BMSE. The curse to BMSE is that they get placed. And so we don't have much of MSMEs to talk about, but then the best of best placements happen. But when I went back and probably last 10 years, when I saw the sort of students who are there, they do excellent projects to the tune of, just to give an example, I had a student in second year of engineering. We ran 8 semesters. She was in 3rd semester, she and her friend. So they were sitting on a bench, and I walk in and I say, why are you not inside the class? She says, all of them have bunked, and I've come from a very long place. The whole class is bunking, and so I have nothing to do. She said, you're asking me, give me a project. Give me something to do. So I took her to the department, and I gave her a discarded project, something that was discarded because the student was very passionate about the project, but final year, they need placement. He wanted a job. So he handed it over to me and said, madam, if you can take this forward. So I was keeping it with me for another 5 years, close to 5 years. And I gave it to her and said, do something with it. It was a huge, electronic circuitry that was made to do controlling and monitoring of IV fluids. You can connect with IV fluids. And whenever there is an IV fluid drop dripping, you look at the patient, they're not looking around, they're looking at the drip. And they're like watching to see when will it end, and then it starts hurting them. Do we have, it's been generations, decades, that every cot in a hospital, rural, urban, corporate, whatever, there is a drip stand beside the cot, and there's a bottle hanging with it. And where is the monitoring? The nurse monitors it with the hand manual. It might be less, it might be more. But nobody is, why are we not in, I'm listening to a lot of MSMEs. And most of it is business, and then your, whatever you're talking about, not much of it is digestible to me, but I loved listening to it because there was innovation of newer things getting into my brain. So that was the best part of it. But then she tried and got it into a size of a small PCB, the whole big circuit, in the next 1 month. And 4th semester, Karnataka startup, the government initiative of Elevate, 2019. So we said, you have a prototype, try to see if people like it. So we hurriedly made a LLP, and then, because only companies can apply. So we made them apply. We went through all the delegations, discussions, a wonderful presentation, wonderful initiative, wonderful energy. It's not the presentation, it's the energy which talks to the audience. It's not the presentation. My students ask me, should it be 10 slides, 20 slides? I say 1 slide. 1 slide, and you can capture the audience. But then they made it well. I was with them because this was a nice thing. We were trying to apply for funding, which was rarely done by the students. And so we won. We were in the top 100. In that 2019, they got the highest fund of 40 lakh. They were in 4th semester, and they got a 40 lakh funding, and they didn't know what to do. They went desperate, like what to do. And then we had our alumni. BMS scouts 50,000 alumni all over the globe. And we have 27,000 of them registered with us. So we have wonderful mentors with us. So all of them worked, they brought out a device which could both control and monitor the IV fluid automatically. So it is IoT based. And so what is the help? I belong, a lot of doctors at home. Husband is a doctor, son is a doctor. And they yell at nurses and others because they don't do the thing the way it should be done. I mean, they are trying to push in fluid at a particular rate. Then can you just make sure that it is that particular rate? It's not one more or one less. They tried doing it, they could do it. And then you have, in the ICU, we have seen during COVID that there are 40 patients in the ICU. ICU is supposed to have one patient and one nurse. How many nurses do we have? One nurse. And if she falls sick, there's nobody in the ICU. So what we did, we implemented IoT in it so that from the nursing station, I can arrange the drip rate, the bottle capacity, everything's there, and I can say start and stop. It starts and stops. And then there is a count of the drip, and then when there is the last drip in the reservoir is over, that is when it says there is no more fluid there. So we wait for 10 seconds. What is the 10 seconds for? It's the fluid in the pipe that should enter the body. So, and then there is an actuator. There are alarms, 7 alarms, but then we go on and on controlling it. So there is an actuator which stops it. So this is one of the events. Now, that girl, she is in Silicon Valley doing her Master of Science in Technology Ventures. And I get to know from one of our alumni, he says, Dr. Suma, there is a saying, if you throw a stone into the Silicon Valley, it will surely hit an Indian. Now, because there's so many Indians there, why are they not here? Why are they there? And then it so happens that 82% of the medical devices are imported. And who is making it there? An Indian. Now what are we trying to do? That's when I decided, no, we need to do something for our students. And they're wonderful, they're wonderful. They are the energy for me. If I'm doing 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours of work, or doing a discussion with a startup at 12 in the night, that's because I enjoy the energy. And you know, teachers don't age. Because I have a new group of new faces. Every time there's a new blood walking in, and they make us more energetic. You can't stop. So we went on. Last 8 to 10 months is when I started looking at what our students are doing. And if you want to believe, I have 24 startups in the college right now, 24 concepts being built, and then 58 women faculty are giving us proposals. Around 38 of them have prototypes ready. Some of them, the rest of them are being developed. I'm talking about women entrepreneurs because there was a lot of talk about, MSME said there's so much money for women entrepreneurs. It's time I harvest all of them because all of them deserve every bit of it. And I happen to be enjoying these innovations a lot. And so when I finished my PhD and walked into the college campus, BMS College gave me 3.25 lakh as seed money to start one of my innovative thoughts. And right now when I'm standing here, my total external funded projects till date is 260 lakh. So that's what I've brought into BMSE. And I have 4 patents published, 2 patents filed. It's a lot for a teacher. I mean, I'm a teacher basically, very passionate about teaching. When I can do something like that, those students are very enterprising. And one of the students, Santosh, give me another minute. Before he gives me the chit and say, you're done. There's a student group again. They were in 4th semester when they thought they should, that was when COVID stuck. They thought they should develop something that's hands-free or non-touch vending machine. They are from information science department. We see they are techies. They have nothing to do but coding. But this fellow joined hands with some mechanical fellow, joined together. He has developed a vending machine. You run the app, you do the payment, whatever you order for runs, there is a spiral, it drops down, and you can pick it. This was done for COVID, and then they came to 5th semester, they had around 4 or 5 machines in the campus. Now, they went out and hired an MBA graduate to do the marketing. And then what did happen? 1 month later, they had 18 more installations. And right now, when I'm talking, they have 100 and odd installations all over Bangalore. And during COVID, they felt bad that they're not able to do mechanical work. So they organized a hackathon, and they awarded 10,000 rupees for a woman entrepreneur. I mean, they are my students and they're taking away everything from me saying, I can do better than you. I didn't like it. So that's why the whole entrepreneurship of women entrepreneurship that I looked at. And when they were in 8th semester, that's the final year, they hired 2 engineers to work for them. The graduates were hired by a 8th semester. That is the strength of student in BMS College of Engineering. And I'm so happy. This Dean Innovation was a post that was created in January 2022. It didn't exist, but probably I went around talking to everybody that everybody should do this, that, and things like that. And the college said, to stop this lady from going around and talking, give her a post. Put her in a place and say, do this properly in an organized, structured way. So this is something that we are doing. We have conducted boot camps. I have one more student who is in 2nd semester who has developed the EV charger, which will charge, it's a universal charger. So any EV vehicle can be charged with this. It's tested. Ather company has tested the product and they've said they can use their patented charger for testing. They've handed it over to them. They're now in 3rd semester. You should listen to that fellow. He walks onto the stage and says, I am Vishwas, I am 19-year-old. And there he strikes the chord and then he starts discussing. They've brought down the charging time from something like 7 or 8 hours that happens now to 35 minutes. So this is the strength. I'm not saying I enjoy every bit of it. We do a lot of healthcare devices. We do a lot of agriculture. One of my computer science students who is in 2nd semester, he says he can develop blockchain technologies to bring together multiple farmers who have small lands. The small land farmers, the main problem is they cannot buy any facility because nobody gives the loan. Santosh behind me. Okay, so he is developing a blockchain technology. So what I say is, I have the human resource. The campus holds 8,000 students. Even if 10% of them react to me, there are 800 projects pending there for you people to take it up. We can only take it to the 4th or 5th TRL. 10 is MSME. So please get back to us. I have a lot of things to offer to you. I've only talked about 100th or 1,000th of what I wanted to talk. Santosh here. So Santosh I met on Monday. And he seemed that, I don't know, he felt I should talk today. And I just hope he's not sorry about it. But it's a wonderful platform. You are like the neurons. You are, MSMEs are like the veins. You know, we talk about brain and the heart, but we don't talk about the neurons inside. You are the ones who are building the nation. And I listened so much to it. I was actually feeling so wonderful about having been called to this event because I could listen to all of you. MSMEs was not a very familiar word for me. Now I'm enjoying the word. So get back to us, get back to me, please. Through Santosh, he'll give you the connect. And let's do something. Let all our thoughts, our student thoughts, become a product. And that's when we can kill that 82% of import of medical devices to 2%. I'm not saying about MRI and CT. It's a big mafia out there, so we cannot check into them. Let's do things that we can do. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Suma, for that very interesting talk. I'm sure Santosh would not regret. And I think I should come to you to learn the technique, how to keep people alert towards the end of the program. Thank you so much for joining us today. Now, let me invite Mr. Suresh MS. Thank you, sir, for coming back. Suresh MS is the Head of Energy Export Advisor, Trade Council of Denmark, India, Consulate General of Denmark in Bangalore. Over to you, sir, for your address.